15 fieldworks there for studying the geology and the paleontology of this desert. This is a very nice, beautiful view of the Ica Desert. Okay, there is no vegetation at all, but geologists like to have no vegetation at all because you can study better the rocks, the fossils there. And so this is a typical journey that we do in the Ica Desert. So we start from Lima, where we meet all our collaborators at the Museo di Storia Natural. You can see all the fossils that are stored in the laboratory. And so we study all the fossils that we took in the previous journeys. And then we also meet our collaborators at Ingemet for planning the geological survey. So after that, we rent cars and we go to Ica. It's a long travel through the Panamericana Highway that have a very beautiful view on the southern part of on the coastal part of Peru. And we arrived finally in Ica, where we do grocery shopping for from 10 years, 10 days to 2 weeks, not years, but they are quite a long time in the desert because we do camping in the desert. And so we buy a lot of stuff and in Plaza Vea in Ica. And then we also buy lots of water because only for drinking, because not for wash ourselves, unfortunately, because in the desert it's very important to have a very high amount of water. So we left Ica and we go to Obucake. That is this very nice and small village. This is the plaza of Obucake with a megalodon because it's really famous for its fossils. And there is also a small museum there that I recommend you to visit. And Obucake is the last city in the edge of the desert. After that, we have no cities. And so we are in the middle of the desert. And there is in Obucake, there is Mario's house. And who is Mario? Is Mario Urbina, that is our main collaborator in paleontology, is the main expert of the Pisco Basin paleontology. And yes, I called him the real Indiana Jones, because you can see this is his room and it's really impressive. And Mario discovered most of the fossils that are preserved in the Museum of Obucake, but also in the museum in Lima. And these are his beautiful drawings of all the specimens, all the fossils that he discovered and he imagined and he reconstructed with his imagination. And yes, they are quite impressive. So after visiting Mario's house, we pick up all the stuff of all the last stuff, like the kitchen, the tables that are usually stored in the Mario's house, and we go with our cars away from Obucake in the middle of the desert, but at the end, it's night because it was a very long journey, a very long day. So we only see sand in the night. We are very tired, but we have to build a tent in the desert. And so it's and all the camp, all the base camp that we have in the desert. So it's we are very stressful, but this stress is totally paid in the morning when we wake up, because the landscape is really beautiful. And this is a view from my tent when I wake up in the morning. And so this is our base camp. Everyone has is a single tent. You can see here, because remember that we cannot wash ourselves for 1 week or more, so it's better like that. And everything is covered by sand. You can see in the inner part of my tent. So this is the kitchen tent. So we have the boiling water for Mario, because it's it's impossible to have it. And we have pans for dinner. For lunch, we eat in the cars, or usually tuna or caballa. And yes, usually we have some friends like the mouse that we named the Pisco for obvious reason. And yes, we have dinner in the main tent, that is this one. Most of us is Italians, so we eat literally pasta every day, every single day for dinner. But our Peruvian colleagues loves our pasta with pesto alla Genovese, so they are quite happy too. And we also, yes, celebrate some birthdays in the desert. So it is really cool. But now we will see why it is so important to study the Ica Desert. So from a geological point of view, we are in the middle of two geological plates that are the Nazca plates and the South American plate. So the Nazca plate is subducting under the South American plate. So it's for this reason that there are also the earthquakes and other phenomena. And the peculiar thing of Peru is that there are several forarch basins, so marine basins along the coast. And we study the East Pisco Basin, that is the red one. And why it is so important? Because it was a marine basin in the past, so from 50 millions of years until 5 millions of years ago. But now, for the subduction of a mountain, a seafloor mountain, the Nazca Ridge, you can see there, the entire basin was uplifted in the desert. So it's for this reason that we have marine fossils, marine animals in the Ica Desert. So this is the basin. You can see it's a beautiful view from the Palacas Bay, and you can see the basin, the edges of the basins of the basin, and the sediments inside. And our fossils are there inside these marine sediments. So these are this picture is a mysticid, so a whale, a baleen whale from the Ica Desert. There are lots of them. And so we have marine life in the desert. And we have all these fossils in these sediments. You can see here a stratigraphic log. So we have some old formations that are more or less 50 millions of years old. And then, so we have Los Chorros and Yumaque members that are part of the Caracas Formation. Then we have the Otuma Formation, the Chilcatay Formation, and the last one that is the Pisco Formation, that is the most recent and the most famous for fossils. So our work consists of measuring stratigraphic sections for the geological survey. So we have this tool that is a the Jacob stuff that help us to measure the rocks in the field. And we described all the type of rocks we encountered, and we took samples. We take samples for datings. So we, in these years, we covered a very huge area for the geological survey. So we realized geological maps like this one and like those ones that are, yes, geological maps, but also you can see small dots that are the fossils. So every single fossil is GPS located, and so it's really important for also for future works about protection of the heritage of the paleontological heritage. And so why it is the Pisco Basin is so peculiar. It's important to think that we have this yes, this continuous deposition of sediments from 50 millions of years ago until more or less 5 millions of years ago. And you can see that here we have the evolution of these animals that are important to study for understand their evolution, their adaptation. And so the Pisco Basin is really the right place to study the evolution, for example, of fishes, sharks, reptiles, turtles, penguins, and other seabirds and cetaceans. And I don't know if you know that cetaceans came from land. So the first cetaceans are the archaeodactyls and are like the first image. So land animals and then amphibious animals, and they adapted to the aquatic life later. So from 50 millions of years ago until today. And so today we have mysticetes and odontocetes. That mysticetes are the whale, like the blue whale, the Megaptera, and other whales. The odontocetes are the whale with teeth. And so we have dolphins, sperm whales, the killer whale, and so on. So we can study all these evolution. So these are two examples of fossils from the Ica Desert. So you can bet which is the dolphin and which is the whale. And so this is the whale, spoiler, and this is the dolphin. Okay, and so we measured, we study every single fossil that we can find in the field. And yes, the Pisco Basin is really important also because the Humboldt current, because we have to remember that the Peruvian coast is today one of the main place for fisheries. So there is a very high biodiversity because of the upwelling that is important along the Peruvian and Chilean coast. So in our work, we described lots of new specimens. For example, 2 new families of cetaceans, 18 new genera of cetaceans, and 21 new species. But there are also other groups like reptiles, seabirds, and other groups that are to be studied. So these are the 4 most famous animals from cetaceans from the Ica Desert. So we have Pelegocetus pacificus, Pelegocetus colossus, that is the new entry, Mystacodon selenensis, and Leviathan melvillei, that is a real monster of the seas. And yes, all these cetaceans are part of this evolution from archaeodactyls to the recent waves, the living waves. So the first one that I present you is Livia Tarmenville, that is the animal with the largest teeth of all time. So more bigger than T-Rex, more bigger than other dinosaurs. And so it is a real monster. And this is the discovery. Obviously, there was Mario that discovered with Class Post and other Giannucci, Olivier Lambert, and other paleontologists that discovered this whale in 2007, I remember, if I remember well, or 2008. And you can see here Mario that is putting some glue on the fossil to preserve, roughly preserve them in the field. And you can see these very big holes that are the place of the teeth. So imagine the dimension of a single tooth of this animal. And it was found in Cerro Colorado, that is a place of the Ica Desert, where the Pisco Formation crops out. And so we have dated this animal around 9 millions of years ago, using a volcanic shale. So this is the palatal view of the cranium of Livia Tarmenville. And today is exhibited in the Museo di Storia Naturale in Lima. And these are the teeth, so you can see that are very big. They are 40 centimeters long, so more than T-Rex, more than the sperm whale, that you can see the D letter, and the killer whale, that is the E letter. And we have a connection between the Museo di Storia Naturale in Lima and the Museo di Storia Naturale in Calci, a Pisa, that is a small city here, here around Pisa, because in the museum there is the replica, the perfect replica of Livia Tarmenville, and it was placed near the sperm whale to see the differences. You can see that the teeth are very small in the sperm whale and very big in the Livia, and the sperm whale have teeth only in the inferior part of the mandible. So probably its feeding were small cetaceans, small whales, and the Ica Desert is plenty of small whales. So the other giant that I present today is Petrocetus colossus, that it is probably the heaviest animal of all time. And so it's a recent work we published on Nature in 2023. And it was a great discovery, again, made by Mario, that is very happy about it. Here you can see the vertebra on the left. And we dated these sediments between 40 and 38 millions of years ago. So we are very old than the Livia Tarmenville. So before we were in the Pisco Formation, now we are in the Paracas Formation. So these are the vertebrae, the huge vertebra on the left, and the rib in Costilla on the right, and yes, they are impressive. The dimensions are impressive, and the rock was really hard, so the work lasts really years for excavating it. So this is a single vertebra that is, yes, is encased in a gypsum case for protection, but each single vertebra, the weight is around 160 kilos each. So really an impressive weight. And now it is exposed in the Museo di Storia Naturale in Lima after a long preparation. The last year, also the preparation years. And we have Walter Aguirre here that is preparing it. And in total, we found 13 vertebrae, the innominate, and one rib, sorry, 4 ribs. And this is the reconstruction of the animal. It was really hard to reconstruct it because it's basically a Basilosaurus, so a very ancient cetacean. So you can see that the morphologies are close to those of Basilosaurus, but each vertebra seems like inflated, like those of Basilosaurus but inflated. So we decide also to inflate the Basilosaurus to reconstruct our animal. And we also study the composition and all the features on bones, and we found that these bones were really similar to those of Sirenians that you can see here. So probably the lifestyle of Perucetus was similar to Sirenians. So after calculation, after studies of my collaborators, we estimated the weight of Perucetus colossus that is around, is from between 85 tons and 340 tons. So really a giant and a heavy weight. And you can the mean of this estimation, that is a very wide range, it's 180 tons, and it's close to the maximum of the blue whale, so Balenoptera musculus, that today the blue whale is the heaviest animal ever exist. So we are close to this primatum. So this is our 3D reconstruction of Perucetus colossus. It's really funny, and yeah, it was a long study. And yes, I hope that the success of Perucetus colossus could help also in the valorization and protection of the paleontological heritage of the Ica Desert that today is not properly protected. So thank you very much. Gracias.
Thank you very much, Giulia. So I open the room for any questions to Giulia. I will translate the questions into Spanish. So if there are any English,
yeah,
welcome to.
We can translate.
Yes, maybe to see the transition from legs or legs.
Yeah.
How I see.
Yes, there are well, yes, thank you. Because okay, thank you so much. So okay, you can see here in the 3D reconstruction that there are the legs in the anterior legs that are transforming like pins, right? And in the posterior ones that are very small, so we are is a transition from land that it is obviously not amphibious because the mass is too much for land, so it was completely an aquatic animal, but the small legs are disappearing. So after that, all the whales have only fins and not posterior legs. Yes. Yes, I think that there is the chance to discover other animals. Sorry. Okay, that are in the middle of this evolution path. So Perucetus is here, you can see, but we have other animals also to be discovered in the future.
We got space for one more question. I will just make sure if there are questions from Cusco, maybe they also have one. Milton, hay una pregunta tal vez en Cusco. Su micrófono está apagado. Okay, so maybe we go ahead and do a question here. Thank you.
Something with protection. And I usually hear that people who are around and for like ancient stuff and find the dog or like people just by chance. What are the main risks now? Is that still going on? What else is going on?
Yeah. Okay, the main problem that we have regarding protection is that there are lots of people that hunt the shark teeth for selling them into the dark web, we cannot do anything about that. But yes, what we can do is to, and that our collaborators in Peru should do, is to try to disseminate knowledge to the people, to the Okukake people, to help them to understand the evaluation of this paleontological heritage. So it's important from kids to adult people to understand that this is an international knowledge. It's a very big knowledge, a very big heritage that we cannot lose. And for a practical point of view, it was in 2018 there was a proposal for UNESCO sites, but unfortunately they didn't choose the Ica Desert. So I hope that in the future it could be it has everything for being a UNESCO site, and so I hope in a future valorization. Yeah.